Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Bobby Skinner talking Giants. And this is going to be a new series for the year. I mean, the title says it. It's a film review of each week. Last year, what I would do is I streamed going through every single play, offense and defense. And honestly, it just took long. It took a long time, and it wasn't the greatest use of resources. So I've got 16 plays we're going to go through. Now, the Giants lost this game, so they're mostly going to be bad cleaning up. But we are going to go through some of the good plays and get into it. So make sure to like, subscribe, and if you hate me like halfway through, unsubscribe. Simple as that. First play, we're going to go over the big 42-yard catch to Darius Slayton. So they jump off sides, and I will say, one thing I like about I like multiple things about Nick Gates, is that he does this. Like, we've had guys jump off sides years before and just never got the free play. And so, in 2020, they would run these back shoulders when they got these calls. Well, on this one, they run 3 verticals with Shep on the out. And this is where, Denver, a talking point, and I had this talking point too, is like, hey, they run a ton of too high safety looks trying to stop the big play, which is very true. And it means if you are a team like Kansas City, you have to change your approach. But it doesn't mean that you can't get the big play. And this should have been, this should have been such a huge blessing, not just because of 42 yards, but could have signaled to the coaching staff, like, hey, we can get these chunks. Like, we can't go crazy, but we can get these chunks. And part of that, that too high stuff, especially on a third down, is even though they're showing cover 4, it's not. This safety rolls down, and you got a one-on-one. And now this safety is occupied with him, or looking over here, you've got a one-on-one with Darius Slayton. And he puts a beautiful ball on him. Shouldn't take a free play to do this. And Daniel Jones was the most efficient deep ball passer. I mean, you'll see it from the other angle. I mean, this is a beautiful pass. Shouldn't take that to do this. You could have gotten this look all game. Now, that doesn't mean you just chuck it downfield all game, but you could have gotten this look consistently. And it's a 42, I mean, it's the biggest play of the game. Next play we're going to go through the Tony sweep. So there's a few things that are wrong with it. One, this is where Tony is when the ball is snapped. When you're going to see from the other angle, it's got to be closer. You have a tackle for a loss. Big time. 6-yard tackle for a loss. So what the Giants are trying to do on this is they're leaving a player, like, this wasn't a missed block. They are leaving a player unblocked. But schematically, they left the wrong player unblocked. And they did stuff like this last year. Maybe not as a sweep, but just in certain, like, pull influence. You would use influence blocks and pull and stuff. Now, if he is here when the ball snapped, you notice, and it's an actual jet sweep handoff and not the little pitch pass where you need that time. Maybe you're able to, bust it around the corner and you got him lined up here, him here, him here. Where the Giants, what I think they should have done, if this is what they're trying to do, is leave this guy unblocked. Because it's going to be hard for him to make the play. One, he's a lesser athlete than the defensive end in Von Miller. If you do that, and what you do, is you have Caden Smith come crack down on Von Miller. And now you have Caden Smith down here, Rudolph down here, Solder right here, Hernandez right here, and I don't think this guy makes the play. And what I'll say is, even if he does, he's got a lot less chance of making it than this player. So again, this wasn't some misassignment. This was on purpose. But I just think that's bad football. That's just taking a full-on, a dumb risk. And we're going in chronological order, so we're going to be switching from offense to defense. So I'm going to go through a good defensive play, a nice run stop to get. Roll through it. First, we'll start with Lorenzo Carter. Sets a nice edge. Turns out, forcing him outside. Now, they're trying to get outside, but he sets a nice edge. Now let's look at the box. I got their 5 offensive linemen, 6, 7, and 8. So they have 8. Let's count the Giants. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's a big time favorable run front for the Broncos. You got the pulling guard. Blake doesn't overplay it. Blake doesn't, sprint down here and leave this gap open for the running back to cut up. Patient. Okay, now Tay Crowder plays the outside of him. Blake Martinez plays the inside, and the play's dead. And you get a tackle for 0 yards or 1 yard or whatever it ends up being. And we're not going to go through, but Tay Crowder played well. I really liked what I saw of Tay. He seems like he got stronger. I mean, there was one play where he just lit up Garrett Bowles. They highlighted it on the broadcast. Now we're going to do the motion throw to Tony. So I actually like this. It only got 4 yards, but it's called orbit motion, where you bring them in right here and then around. Got a good look. Got this linebacker matchup, blocking out here. Let your guy make a play. So it's a decent gain, but I'm not even critiquing this play. But what I want to say is that this play can set up a big-time QB draw later on in the season. If I'm seeing this, then the coaches are seeing this. Now, he stays here as a spy, but not every team's going to do that. If he does his 4-man rush, this middle of the field, because they're going to be looking for Tony. And this safety is going to want to get down and make sure that, he's there to fill if these guys hold up their blocks well. This will leave, and then what you would do is you would have both these routes breaking out. Because they showed man coverage, this will give you, let's just imagine he's not here and these guys aren't here because they're covering out routes. That's a lot of green grass. So I think that's something the Giants should come back to later in the season. Next play. This was frustrating because I kind of saw this pre-snap in play, and I was like, what are the Giants running? And they, I know I harp on stick a lot, but it's not the word. It can be used. And this is 3rd down and 2. And they just don't have him covered. The linebacker's splitting, but you just have you have the deep safety. You have all this help over here where you got 2 tight ends. You got your outside linebacker, you got Blake, safety, corner. And then this safety, is lined up deep. And you're just leaving this. And it's not like it's a like it could be some type of hybrid zone where he comes and plays this curl hook. It would have been one thing if he just immediately runs out into the flats and then they were doing some type of replacement where, he pops down and Logan Ryan turns into the deep safety and you got him manned up right here. But it's just weird. It's just they kind of just it was the easiest pass of the day for Teddy. I'm not the greatest football mind, but I was, before this play, I was like, they're gonna throw a stick to Fant, and that's what they did, or not Fant, Patrick. He looks like he's Fant. He's so freaking big. Next play, this is 4th down and 7. Broncos go for it, and Giants run this man cover a cover 1 robber where the safety pops down. This safety playing deep. I just feel like that's a tough spot to be only rushing 4. It's 4th and 7, and I get that they can be an opportunity for a big play, but trust that Adoree and James Bradbury can stop the deep pass, and have your safeties come down and being ready to just power down on the line where the 1st down marker is. Because I guess this could be hindsight, this could be a hindsight on my part, but I just feel like him playing the deep part of the field, and this is a hard cover for Adoree. He's playing outside leverage too. If he was playing inside leverage, if he was playing inside and forcing him out, and ready for any in-breaking routes, then it's okay. You know, you want to play it deep. And maybe that's the issue, is Adoree plays outside leverage. But you just kind of give it to him. Like, good job with Logan Ryan here. I just feel like on a 4th and 7, I feel like you could have been a little more aggressive in your man. And I think that's something the Giants overall, Patrick Graham will learn from this. He tried to do a ton of too high safety stuff, which he didn't do last year. And he played a lot of man coverage, which he didn't do last year. But it was a lot of off man and then the too high safety. I think they need to get back to their single high routes and play some bump and run man coverage. Like, you can't, you know, this team needs to be able to run man coverage to be a top defense. So they can't just abandon man and try and go back to that same like cover 3 scheme. And you could do do a bunch of different things, but I would get back to the single high routes for the Giants. All right, this play. This is the touchdown to Sterling Shepard. I love this play design. My favorite play design of the entire game. So they put Slayton in motion. Shows its zone. You put Galladay on a go. Slayton on a dig. This is dagger. And then Shepard on this crosser. Caden on the end. And what happens is, again, they're trying to stop a big play. So you got him playing deep, him playing deep, him playing deep. He would be playing deep if a receiver is over here. And guess what happens? You got to have these shallow defenders covering these two. All of this green grass right here. All of this green grass right here. Pair that with Shep having a great, like just burning Surtain off the line. Or Surtain being playing off and outside. Jones puts a beautiful ball on him. Again, this is when I talk about like, deeper concepts. Doesn't mean you're just chucking the ball deep. Now, this is a decent chunk throw, even if he gets tackled as soon as he catches it. It's a good 14, 15-yard catch. But again, it's not because Sterling Shepard ran some amazing route. He did. He ran a good route. But it's because this stuff cleared out all of the space. This is the type of stuff I want. And look, it turned into a touchdown. Shep has good yak. Joe Judge actually talked about in the Joe Judge report that like he attacks outside to force him to stop and not be able to use the sideline as a defender and then get back in touchdown. I want to show the blocking up front on it. First, let's just watch Devontae Booker on the chip. Bam! Just puts him on his ass. I love that. That's what a chip's supposed to be. Just put him right in his freaking shoulder. And then you have Caden giving Nate Solder a chip on 48. Slows him down. You got them working here. Solder peels off. Good. 93 goes to spin back inside. Now watch Nick Gates. Bam! Put you on your ass. That sucks, getting put on your ass, and then you look up, and your other team scoring a touchdown, celebrating right in your freaking face. Bam. Good job, Shane Lemieux blocking here. Recovering. Touchdown, Giants. Going to the mind of a Greg Jamings. All right, next play. So everything was, hunky-dory. This play pisses me off so badly, and parts of why I'm not so pissed off at the defense. The defense had allowed 3 points to this point. 3 points. There's 4 minutes left in the half. The defense has allowed 3 points. Now the Giants, the fumble by Logan Ryan, you could say, well, they would have scored more points. Well, maybe they would have kicked to a field goal. It would have been 6 points in the first half. But even 10 points in the first half isn't bad by the defense. And guess what? Logan Ryan's paid to make plays like that, and he did. So I get the first 2 calls. Like, you want to get the clock running, and if you can't convert, at least you took some clock off and gave the Broncos less time to score. But this call pisses me off to no end. It's a 3rd and 8 right here, and they are flat out not trying to get a first down. This pisses me off. They were not trying to get a first down. You cannot convince me that this play call was to get a first down. I mean, the Broncos know what's coming. They're sitting back in zone. And let's say, and I saw some people saying, well, he should have thrown to Kenny Galladay. Well, not really, because it's a pre-snap read, and it's all about timing, and that's what the stick concept's about. So if the pre-snap was to go to Galladay, he has to look over here, and he has to be throwing it right now. So there's no like looking off, guys. This safety's coming down and ending the play. So you run the stick, and of course they're going to be playing off because it's 3rd and 8 in the own goal line. Well, that means the pre-snap read is to throw it into the flat to Kyle Rudolph, who has no yak ability. I mean, that's not even, they are not even trying to convert a first down. And the Broncos go and score points after that. So yes, is it the Giants defense's fault for giving up points on that next drive? Yeah. But you know what? How about we help, we talk about complementary football. How don't we help our defense out a little bit, offense? And so, I mean, they just flat out weren't trying. Like, that's pathetic to me. They were not trying to score points. That pisses me off so bad. Next play. Got to finish the tackle on this one. Cover 2. You just got to finish the play. Let's kind of break it down schematically. So you got the single high look. They're getting into cover 2 where you have two guys covering the deep halves and then everyone else underneath. So he's who is that? Is that Logan Ryan? I don't know. He's playing the half. So bam. And then you have like a bubble right here of these guys playing the flats. But you got to make this tackle, and we'll see it from the other angle. Let's look at it from the other angle. You're not blitzing. Dexter Lawrence pushes the pocket back. Leonard Williams does a decent job. I mean, right in Teddy's lap. So he's got to get out. Well, you're playing your contained. Good job, Aziz. Play through it, man. Play through it, Aziz. This is the difference in winning games and losing games. Especially when you rely on your defense to win you games when you're the New York Giants. Run through it, man. You'll learn from it, but that just sucks. That's the difference. That's such a huge difference in a game right there. That's the difference between them being backed up, a 10-yard sack, and then a nice chunk play for the Broncos. Next one. Oh, this is the KJ Hamler play. And so we thought this was Adoree Jackson getting burnt, and I will admit I don't think Adoree played it great. But this, I think, is on Xavier McKinney. Giants are playing cover 4, which means that you got deep, 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 deep. Covering deep. Now, the problem with playing too high safety is that you give favorable run fronts for the offense to run to, which means the safety has to come up and play. And this is part of it. Is so when play action, it leaves the deep posts open. Like the Rams, who were the best at running cover 4, there was times where they got beat on these type of things. So McKinney plays it. He's got to bail. But I will say I'm not going to give Adoree a pass on this either. Like, you got to see that they're not covering that. That he's not covering that. Like, he looked lost on that too, but I blame that on McKinney as well. But that's when we talk about, the Broncos defense is built about stopping big plays. Well, like, that's what that play was by the Giants defense, and they almost had a 50-yard touchdown on it. Next play. What are we doing? Okay, so this is a 3rd and 4. And this is where, big time Patrick Graham fan, but I don't get this. I get you're playing tight man, but this is 3rd and 4. Why are your safeties lined up so far off? I get you don't want to get beat by the big play, but it's 3rd and 4. You sign these corners, trust them. Trust them that you don't need these safeties over the top. And Jabril Peppers, who had the most pass breakups for a strong safety last year, gets beat. And that's the other thing. Just giving them inside leverage. Get your if you're gonna put your hands on them, something. Just giving it to them. I mean, that's easy. And I get Ryan's playing up, but there's just like on a drag, there's just not enough time. They probably would have went for on 4th down anyways and got it though. Like they do on this play. And again, you have to finish the play on McKinney and Blake. I mean, everyone does a good job covering up on the back end. Everything's covered up. Even if you threw it to Sutton somehow, he stepped out of bounds, so it'd be an illegal play. And you just don't finish. Dear McKinney, you're a beast. Run through him. Run through him. Get the sack. Don't let Teddy do that to you. Don't let Teddy Two Gloves do that to you. And Blake, I know you usually don't miss tackles, but you missed this one. This is the difference between 7 points and 0. I mean, I know they're not teaching you to duck your head and try and lay. I don't even know. Like, this isn't Blake Martinez. Wrap this backup tight end up, man. If he wraps him up, even if he doesn't bring him down, O'Shane probably gets there and finishes the play. Or Bradbury's able to get there and finish the play. Come on, that's so frustrating, man. That's between 7 points and 0. I mean, the score at this point is what? What is the score at this point? This is that first drive of the second half. So this is being 10-7 and 17-7. That sucks. That really sucks. All right, next rep. What is this? Okay, I think this is a badly schemed run play. Gets 5 yards, so it's not bad, not horrible. But they're running wham, where the tight end is blocking the backside defender. But it looks like it's meant to go in the A gaps, you know, here and here. By the way, like Barkley's eyes are. But it closes down. He bounces. Gets 5 yards. So not the worst play. But and I talked about this on the O-line report, so I won't go too extensive on it. This is kind of a hard block for Solder to get and seal this off. So it forces it down, and this defender closes the hole off. And maybe by the way these guys are blocking this, they're trying to bounce it up there. I don't know. But how I would change it is I would put Caden Smith lined up right here. I would leave this guy unblocked and let Rudolph come wham him down. So you just know that he's going to get sealed off. And now you have Hernandez going here, Solder here. It's just better angles for everyone. But instead, there ain't much room. Unless you want him to bounce it back through here, but I think that's kind of a tough ask. He does a good job. Gets 5 yards. Thomas does a great job blocking his guy out. Bredesen could have finished this block better, but not horrible. So that's just kind of a change I would look at, is maybe start whamming the defensive tackle and not the defensive end. What do we got on this one? Oh, Daniel Jones bad. Needs a check down on this. And I think Daniel Jones, he never gets off his first read stuff is a little overplayed. Like it's a pre-snap. The offense is based off of pre-snap reads most of the time, so it's like, well, it's not. He's not going through progressions because it's all based off of the pre-snap look, and it's like it's predestined where he's gonna go. But on this one's not a pre-snap read. So maybe he wants to get this here, but then you got to manipulate this play with your eyes. You got to show that you're looking over here or down here or what. And then if this player comes off, then you could throw this. Then he can throw this. But what he should do, and check it down. You've seen this guy make eye contact with where this route is breaking off, and he's getting underneath it. Check it down. There's plenty of space. Check it down. You are at minimum have like a 2nd and 2. again, that's something where Jones has to get better, is when they are running some downfield concepts, and this really isn't that, but it is a high to low read, get into your check down quicker. Like at this point, like he's reading this linebacker. At this point, you see this linebacker is looking back. This is great. This is a good linebacker. He's diagnosing what this play is going to be, and he's getting underneath it. And he gets his mid on it. Hit this check down. Easy. Easy money. You know, and he does give the look over here, but that's not moving that linebacker off a spot. Now, I'm telling you, if he gives you, even if you can manipulate him, if he gives you any, like, you know, movement over here, throw it. But he doesn't. Hit this. Hit this. It's right in front of you. There's no excuse. It's not a swing check down where it's like, you know, maybe he's not even sure if it's done covered. You gotta hit this. Hit this. Next play. This is the one that should have been intercepted. This was by far his worst play, and this is where he looks at his first read. Critics can have at it. So he gets a man coverage read, and this should be a touchdown. But this corner does an amazing job on it. Like if I did Talking Broncos, I would be talking about this play, about how we stopped a touchdown on this play. So what you're doing, you got man coverage. You got both crossers who are supposed to clear out. You're supposed to clear these two guys out and occupy this safety. And then up here, I think they're running curl flat maybe. Yeah, like you can tell, like the way, like this play will never go to Galladay. Like the way he comes, like that is simply just occupy that defender. That play is never planned to go to Galladay. So this should be a touchdown, but this guy plays it perfectly, and Jones telegraphs it because he didn't just leave. He just didn't leave Darius Slayton in man coverage on because he's stupid. Like he read this. So the Giants should come back to this play, and we'll see his eyes. We'll see Daniel Jones' eyes. I mean, Jones, he knows where he wants to go pre-snap, which is fine. But, I mean, he's just eyeing it down. Give Slayton a look. And you can see 23 is just reading Jones' eyes. And that's why he abandons his coverage. I could have had a pick. I don't want to say should have because it wasn't in his hands. But could have had a pick. If he's not there, it's a touchdown. It's a nice throw in between two players. It's a wheel. Bounce it in. I mean, it's a good route by Saquon. But I mean that's especially in the red zone, that can be disastrous. Now we'll finish off with this play, and this crap pisses me off about Jason Garrett. I'll let it run through. And it's a stick concept. This is 4th and goal at the 6-yard line. 4th and goal at the 6-yard line, and I want to show you something. I want to show you when all the routes break off. Look at the end zone. You are short from space down here. And you have all of this. You have all of this, and you're like, you know what? We don't even want to use that. We got 16 yards of area to move in. We're just going to use this 6. And it's 4th down, so it's do or die. And they're yelling, "We are not blitzing. We are not blitzing." I mean, look at, they just line up at the sticks. It's like they know it's coming. So you know they're not going to get anything up here. Kyle Rudolph runs a horrible, like he looks slow and old. And you got Kenny Galladay, who's a 6'4" contested catch wide receiver, and you got him on a speed out. And they talk about, oh, you know, the chemistry coming back. Well, yeah, chemistry, like that can be a little overrated, but you know where it's not overrated is on a speed out. Like if you're running this with Shep, okay, it's better, but it's still not good. So it's like you have to make that throw right out of the break. And Jones, you know, it's a bad throw by Jones. It should be low and away, and even if he does get it low and away, it might not even be a touchdown. It might be, you know, end up right here and the Broncos had the ball at the 1. But he throws it high because like, yeah, he's got some space right here, but I think if there's a chance this gets intercepted if he throws it accurately. I mean, this is horrible. This after that, besides that 3rd and 8 stick call, because that just was like pathetic. That was like giving up. This pisses me off so bad. Like, well, come on. You didn't sign Kenny Golladay to run a speed out on 4th and goal at the 6. And have just a total pre-snap read. Like, it has to be perfect on timing. On 4th down. Come on. Like, that's so frustrating. And this is my issue with Garrett. It's like everything's got to be perfect. And this is a criticism of Jones. Like, well, why does everything got to be perfect around Jones? You're like, no, it actually doesn't. But here's my issue is that why does everything have to be perfect around Jason Garrett's scheme? That when they play damn near perfect, they score 27 points versus the Eagles. Like, that sucks. Daniel Jones, week 10, converts like... Anyways, I'm not going to get off on that tangent. But this play call sucks. I mean, this is the option right here. On 4th and 6, this is the option. Running a speed out to your 6'4" contested catch wide receiver. I mean, at least it wasn't a goal line fade. At least it wasn't that, which may have been the only worst call. I mean, how they might have been better off running draw and just having Gates block here. Like, there's a billion different things you should have done on this. That's frustrating. Let it roll through the other view. But that is frustrating, man. You got this asshole waving his flag. Like and subscribe. Hopefully next week we're talking about a win on this and we're having a little more fun. We appreciate you guys supporting the show, supporting the channel. Check out the pod. Check out whatever. Go on this channel and check stuff out. Appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe. Blah, blah, blah. Bye. Let's go, Big Blue.